We have a wonderful P-Tech Norwalk that serves 400 students, Norwalk students. We're going to have a pilot P-Tech Middle College and enroll an additional 100 students from around the county, focusing on students in Bridgeport and Stamford. The P-Tech model is a good one. We were the first in the state, and students in the area should have the same opportunity. It makes sense to share these services with other communities rather than to duplicate efforts, which ultimately leads to inefficiency. This pilot program will then allow the city to receive an 80% reimbursement from the state of Connecticut, rather than the usual 32.5%. Thank you. Saving local taxpayers over $100 million. There will be a visual and performing arts academy for 500 students who will be fed from the elementary and middle school level. In total, this new Norwalk High School, which I believe is the 4th iteration, my grandmother went to the one on West Avenue, and then we had at East Avenue, and then this one and the next one, will house 2,000 students, 500 from P-Tech, 500 from the visual and performing arts, and 1,000 traditional. This announcement today was an important one since the school construction priority list for the state will be released shortly, and the new Norwalk High School will be on the list.
One of the things we realize is that we can't keep rebuilding programs in each and every community when, in fact, sometimes it's difficult to duplicate a program that is already successful, like the P-Tech program, or a true performing arts center with a black box. That they're very expensive to build. And can you imagine if you had to build them in 1,100 schools, right? I mean, we have 1,187 schools, give or take, in the state of Connecticut. And if we had to build one of those in each and every school, taxpayer couldn't afford it. So what we've tried to do is be innovative. One of the other things we can't, you've heard all the time and time again about magnet programs. Well, magnet programs have become very expensive, as you can imagine. One of the things that gets involved in magnet programs is tuition reimbursement. Towns going back and forth with students, and how do we pay for those things? Well, guess what? We're not doing magnets anymore because we can't afford them. It's become very, very expensive to do those kinds of things. So what's next on the agenda? The governor wanted us to consider consolidating and maximizing the various programs that we put into schools. One being, of course, the P-Tech program that has been a revelation. It's been outstanding. It's been talked about throughout the state. People know it. How do we enhance that program? How do we enlarge that program, allow other communities to come in without, of course, creating a profit center, folks? Keep that in mind. It's not a profit center. It's the idea is to bring more children in to be able to share in a program that has been so successful. Be able to share in a program that we have a black box theater and performing arts theater, so we don't have to build one also in a neighboring community and be able to share those resources, maximize the very few tax dollars that we have so that we can promote programs. This is one of those programs. This is an out-of-the-box thinking method that would allow us to create a beautiful school within this particular community and enhance programs that exist here that have clearly demonstrated to the public that it works, it's a success, and students have benefited from it. Of course, there's still work to be done, as the senator knows, and all the rest of us know. There is a school on the priority list right now, you all know it, Jefferson, that is on the list. And it is moving forward, and that list has come out. What's happening now at this stage, because I'm the guy in the weeds, right? So what's happening at this point in time is that this program that the senator and others are talking about become a pilot program. It's part of legislation, it includes the reimbursement, and it gets back down to the priority list that's currently out there right now, that priority list. So it'll be part of the current priority list as it goes through our process. And it's one that the State Department of Education's has approved and one that we have approved and endorsed, and one that we've passed on to the governor's office as well, that accomplishes his goals and what he would like to see going throughout the state. It's a great program. It's going to continue to get vetted. The next part we're going to be dealing with now is when I deal with the consultants and the contractors. We're going to have to shimmy them down a little bit too, because, you know, people get carried away sometime. So we're going to ensure that those construction dollars are vetted appropriately and we build what we're supposed to have.